So hi everyone. It's Andrew here with Marie Drake, one of our speakers and workshop instructors at OQCon from October 5th through the 7th. Now Marie, your workshop is on the accessibility testing. What exactly is your talk covering and why did you decide on this topic?
Yep. So I've been learning about accessibility for just about a year now. And even though I'm not an accessibility expert, I consider myself an accessibility advocate. And mainly, I want to share my learnings to everyone and show that accessibility should not be an afterthought. There are tons of areas where we as testers we still lack the relevant understanding as to what needs to be done when it comes to accessibility testing. So by talking about accessibility more and by giving this workshop, I'm hoping that it will help spread the word that we should all be testing and advocating for accessibility.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a field that is important and it's always
Mm,
seems to be an afterthought in
yeah.
testing cycles. What prompted the dive into accessibility testing?
Yeah. So mainly because in my current project, we're trying to deliver a design system, and this is the first time that I've been involved in this kind of project. And one of the standards that design system must have is accessibility. So we have to make sure that for every component that we release to production, or we hand over to different clients, that it has to be accessible. If they're just trying to use it with just a keyboard, they should be able to interact with it. And in order to help out the team as well to catch basic accessibility issues, I've set up like a simple test framework where they can write automated tests, and for every component that they're developing, that there's a corresponding test as well for accessibility on that specific component. And ever since that, I've just been reading a lot about accessibility. I'm currently almost finished as well with this 30 days of accessibility testing, and it's really like a great way to like to explore what other areas accessibility can find in terms of the other issues, who benefits accessibility. So there's a common misconception as well that it's only it will only benefit for example blind users, but to be honest, it actually benefits everyone. And I think that's one of the common misconception nowadays, that I think a lot of people are not really thinking properly. So I think by advocating more about it, speaking about it in talks or workshop, is a great way to help spread. So that prompted me, yeah, to do this.
Mhm. Yeah, that's one, that project at your company sounds very intensive, which is awesome too. And it's a great cause for it as well.
Hmm.
In your experience, what's the common mistakes that your teams are making?
Yep. So the number one mistake is not really thinking about accessibility from the start, starting from the design specification. I mentioned that, most of the time it's seen as an afterthought. So after you've deployed, your product, then that's when you only really consider about accessibility. But, that's more time consuming. There's a lot more cost associated with it, especially if you find that your website is not really accessible. And we've heard some like stories where some firms or some companies, they're being sued because their website is not accessible, like the Domino's case, for example.
Mhm.
So more often, and I've seen this with like other teams as well, in like in like the previous and the current companies that I've worked for, is that it's not really often prioritized by teams. And nowadays there's still tons of website that are not fully accessible by people with disabilities. And we've heard about this term called shift left testing. So we should really be pushing accessibility testing as well to the left.
Yep. Test everything earlier. Makes your life easier later.
Yeah.
Definitely. I remember one of my first projects when I actually had to do accessibility testing, and it was like 1 week into accessibility testing. And it was like, okay, just come up with a list of everything that we are missing, and that's the
Mhm.
accessibility test.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
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 This is wrong. Like, this isn't like we have to fix all of this. No, no, no. We just need a report of what's wrong.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
not
fix it later.
that being said, it was like a big 0 that we got on it. So it's like,
Yeah.
we have to fix everything. Like, we can't release, just fix everything, and then we can fix a lot, and then let's run it again. Oh man, it was so bad, so bad. We got it much better in a few months
Yeah.
afterwards, but it was still just the first version was, oh my god, so bad,
Yeah.
so bad.
I can
Anyways,
just imagine, yeah, there's a lot of like contrast errors. Yeah, not really accessible with keyboard.
when it's bad enough that it's not like, oh, what areas are site faltering in, it's everything is bad. Nothing
Yeah.
is good. And then the quote unquote accessibility validation that I did was just, yeah, we're failing on all these fronts and we know about it. It was literally just a report of, we know we have issues.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a terrible accessibility test if we're just saying, yeah, we have problems.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, oh god. Um, what are some key takeaways from your workshop?
Yep. So we'll talk about what accessibility is. What's the deal with web content accessibility guidelines? Like, what is it about? And what types of testing we can do. For accessibility testing. Nowadays, there's actually a lot of great tools out there. Starting with just your keyboard, and I think it's just really spreading that knowledge that there's this tool out there that can help you, but still at the same time with accessibility testing, human intervention is still very much required. Having said that, there's still some benefit with automating some of the accessibility tests. So one key takeaway from this is, we'll look at how to use again Cypress as well as Cypress Acts, to catch basic accessibility issues, and how it can help prevent like future regressions from some of like the components or some of the elements that you're working with. So it's here to help us but not entirely replace accessibility testing, because you still need to test for it yourself. And basically there will be tons of other interesting activities as well that I have planned to educate the participants more. So I'm not gonna talk about that here, but yeah, there's a lot of surprises.
That means that you want them to sign up and enjoy your workshop and
Pretty much, yeah.
share your knowledge to the
Yeah.
greater testing community. Um, what project did you select to donate towards, and why?
Yep. So I chose Cypress. The test runner itself, again, it's an open source project, and it would be great, to donate some of the amount, so at least I can show, gratitude, because I've introduced Cypress to quite a few projects in that I'm working with currently, and I've got some developers as well, like writing tests, for me, which is really good. So I just want to show gratitude to them by donating some of the proceeds.
Yep. Oh, that's definitely great. That's definitely great, especially when you get other people working on projects and contributing tests for it, because then you get to actually take vacations and enjoy that without having to worry about if tests are being written or executed.
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely.
What's one thing you wish you knew when you first started off in your testing career?
Yeah. So cherish networking. Like networking is really key. Um, you don't have to be the best tester, you don't have to know all the technicals, like, and know all the different tools. But what's better is, like, who to reach out to. You connect with other professionals in the industry, and not just on the testing industry, but also like from other areas as well, because that's how you can evolve, and that's how you can learn continuously. So take advantage of going to meetups, going to events. Do continuously learn, because that's really important, especially with our industry, where there's just like every day there's just new tools, like new like terminologies, and it's very easy to lose track of what you're currently learning if you don't continuously learn. So yep, my advice is to socialize more, attend meetups, and yep, continually learn. Yeah, as I mentioned.
Oh yeah, definitely. This industry is changing on a day-to-day basis, and it's a bit crazy at times to keep track of it all.
Yeah.
And dancing's important apparently. It's good.
And singing, yeah.
Well, thank you, Marie, for your time. If you want to learn how to get accessibility testing off the wish list and into your pipeline, check out Marie Drake's workshop on accessibility testing. Make sure to sign up and register today at oqconf.com/2020.